a savage earth. Out of the Inferno in Savage Earth, tonight at the earlier time of 8 o'clock on UTV.
There's a kidnapper on the loose, and time is running out.
Whilst your fiancé is being held to ransom, you pop out and have lunch with your ex-wife.
Frost has plenty of suspects.
I don't quite see that you can prove any connection with what you're investigating.
And Mullet wants a result.
If you can't cope, I shall bring in a trained negotiator from outside.
As deadlines expire, is Jack finally losing control? David Jason stars in A Touch of Frost, Sunday at 8:30 on UTV.
Good afternoon, you're watching UTV Live. The First Minister, David Trimble, has written to the Prime Minister asking him to recall Parliament. Mr Trimble wants MPs to introduce a stringent security package similar to that proposed by the Irish Republic. It comes as the RUC has announced that 3 of the people being questioned about the Omagh bombing have been released from custody without charge. Tracy McGee reports.
In his letter, David Trimble said he wants the Prime Minister to recall Parliament so it can vote on the introduction of stringent security steps in the wake of the Omagh bombing. Earlier this week, Bertie Ahern announced that his government would be introducing what he described as strict, almost draconian measures to fight terrorism in the wake of the bombing. In recent days, David Trimble has made clear he wants to go further by giving the government the power to reintroduce internment as a potential weapon to fight the terrorists. Yesterday, Tony Blair promised to do whatever is necessary to catch the criminals.
The first step in this is to make sure that we toughen the laws properly so that we can secure convictions for people who are going to be convicted of offences of being members of prescribed organisations.
That sentiment has been backed by local politicians.
I fully support it in both places because I think the entire community on the island of Ireland must have the maximum protection in the type of way that will enable the new political dispensation to operate, because that's crucial for all of us.
Meanwhile, the RUC has confirmed that 3 of the people being questioned about the Omagh blast have been released from custody without charge. An RUC spokesman said 2 people are now helping police with their inquiries. Tracy McGee, UTV Live.
Many of the most seriously injured are in Belfast hospitals. Surgeons at the Ulster and the Royal Victoria have been dealing with the emotional as well as the physical aftermath of severe injuries. Kate Smith has been to the Ulster Hospital at Dundonald.
At the Ulster Hospital, 7 of the victims of the bombing are still being treated. Surgeons worked in teams between the Belfast hospitals, dealing with the casualties as they arrived on Saturday. The injured include many with severe cuts and burns.
What do you find are people's first reactions once they actually recover from the shock and realise what has happened, and how do you deal with that then?
Well, I think many of the people are still dealing with the fact that they have injuries, and I think that they're dealing with the pain, the discomfort, and the very strange environment of being in hospital. I think many of them have probably still not come to terms with the enormity of what actually has happened to them. I think when they do start to deal with that, we would have a very large backup of other professionals, both our nurses and social workers and psychologists, that will help patients deal with that.
The doctors say for some of the patients, the physical scars will last for many years. Now, having done their surgery, their job is to deal with the emotional trauma of disfigurement.
Well, the effect can be to make the patients very withdrawn, to make them reluctant to go out, to make them not achieve as highly as you'd expect them to achieve, and we have to help them to deal with that. We have to help them to recognise the difference that they have and to put them in touch with people that can help them to work through that.
Anne McRae is one of the victims being treated here. She'd been shopping with her daughter-in-law when the blast happened.
I don't remember very much of it. I didn't hear the bang. I don't know how I got to the county. Then I was taken to Dungannon. About 20 stitches inside my head and above my eye. Then they brought me here for a facial, cracked cheek, cracked skull, cracked nose, broken nose. And I thought I had a broken palate. But apparently now it's not broken. So.
It's been a tough time for you, obviously. What about your daughter-in-law who was with you?
Karen Armstrong, she was taken to Derry. But I think she's okay. She's cut as well and bruised. She may be getting home today or tomorrow.
Well, how are you coping with this over the last few days?
Oh, not too good. Just try to cope with the best I can. So I'm just glad I'm out of Omagh at the minute. You know, probably hit me when I go back to Omagh.
What about the rest of your family?
They've all been up. Right enough, they've been very good. But I'm one of the lucky ones, really.
Kate Smith, UTV Live at the Ulster Hospital.
Anne McRae, one of the survivors of last Saturday's bomb blast in Omagh. It's been reported that Bernadette Sands McKevitt, the Vice President of the 32-county sovereignty movement, was prevented from entering her business in Dundalk this morning. She runs a printing shop known as the Print Junction at the Long Walk Shopping Centre in Dundalk, but it's believed she was unable to get into the premises this morning as the locks had been changed. Management at the shopping centre have refused to comment, but have confirmed Ms McKevitt was not at her shop this morning. Finally, a Presbyterian church at Ballycarry near Carrickfergus is celebrating the return of precious documents which were stolen nearly 2 weeks ago. The church is the oldest Presbyterian one in Ireland, and the documents were of enormous historical significance. The minister appeared on UTV Live to appeal for their safe return, and yesterday a member of the public found a safe which had been stolen during the burglary. It had been cut open and some jewellery had been removed, but the documents were almost intact. That concludes this edition of UTV Live. We're back at 3:20, and the main news of the day will be on UTV Live at 6. The weather's next.
And now the UTV weather. Looking forward with Progressive, Northern Ireland's building society.
Rather cloudy this afternoon, some sunny intervals and scattered light showers developing. Tonight will be mostly dry, still rather cloudy with some clear spells developing. And most parts will remain dry tomorrow. All areas will see some sunshine. However, a few showers will develop, most likely in the north and west. The high, 20 degrees. Here's the summary.
If you would like more information about the weather for today and the week ahead, you can call us on 0891 50 55 50.
One-third of children living in inner-city Belfast suffer from asthma. 1 in 5 children throughout Northern Ireland has the problem, compared to 1 in 7 in the rest of the UK. If you would like information about asthma, its cause and prevention, call 016937 628 11.
The Gaelic Game, live this Sunday at 3 o'clock. Can Derry, the Ulster champions, make it to the All-Ireland final? Only Galway stand in their way. The Gaelic Game, live Sunday at 3 on UTV.